Hello, Crimson Wild. I have just finished reading your primer, and holy God, do we have a doozy today. So, welcome to your deck review, or maybe your therapy session is more apt. For those of you who are not familiar with this on YouTube, this is a series where I, Maldhound, known hater, kindly and sweetly talk about your deck's PP, which is your premise and your practicum. For this deck, the premise is the idea behind it, it's what you hope it does, and they hope it greens so hard everybody gets confused and gives up. The practicum is what you actually put in the deck, and if it helps you achieve that. So the problems we're having is it's not very consistent. The deck ramps like a crazy horse and then wins the game of Commander like a crazy horse, which is to say, not much at all, and it involves a lot of shitting ourselves in front of people. So we don't have enough draw. We don't have enough things to do with our mana. We cannot reliably double. Now, the core issue I want to talk to you about in the premise, there are two. The first, you talk about, I think I would be most comfortable around a bracket 4 or a high 3. And then what you have defined as your strategy is bracket 2 is shit. And that's not hating. That is, I want to accurately place you in the bucket where you're going to have the most fun. Doing the way you can think about the brackets is in bracket 1, no plan, or I have a very solid plan for something that's not going to win or even try to win. Bracket 2 is I want to win by just doing more and more stuff at you until it's so much that you die almost inadvertently. Like, I know I'm going to get there. I have no idea how, but I know I'm going to get there by just doing more and more and more at you, which is what you have defined as the goal. The highest achievement of this deck would be to do that. Bracket 3 is like, I'm going to do a lot of stuff and it's going to kill you pretty fast. Bracket 4 is I'm going to do the absolute bare minimum to kill you. And then CEDH is I'm going to do bracket 4, but I'm going to care about like the meta and, practice and grinding and all that shit. So I would reconsider where you think you want to be. There may be a world where you eventually want to get to bracket 3 or bracket 4. You probably think you want to be at bracket 4 because on social media there is a very consistent like narrative of, oh, if your deck's good, if your deck does crazy shit, you're in bracket 4. No, the craziest shit or the craziest like math stuff is happening in bracket 2 because it's where you have the space to kind of play in Minecraft creative mode. So I'm going to charge forward with bracket 2, maybe bracket 3. So we're cheating mana until I can cast a bunch of cool spells and spiral out of control right around turn 9. It doesn't seek to win the game in any other way than beating you in the head with big numbers, except for Walking Ballista. We have a couple combos and even some infinites, such as Kodama of the East Tree with a bounce land and landfall triggers. Yeah, Kodama is an evil motherfucker. So the things we're probably going to have to tie up is, why is it doubling specifically that we care about? If we care about doubling specifically just because we want the math to get crazy, we can achieve that by layering a ton of triggers of any kind, right? Like doubling can also get pretty insane, but it doesn't sound like it needs to be doubling. It sounds like it needs to be exuberant. It sounds like it needs to be decadent. Like you need to be like a fat Roman emperor eating grapes that a servant has peeled for you, and every grape is a +1/+1 counter trigger, but it doesn't necessarily have to be twice as much. Uh, to bring us down to bracket 2, you will probably have to drop the infinite. Now, we can do the infinite in bracket 3, so I'm going to realign this on like we're aiming for 3. We're definitely not doing 4, but we're aiming for 3. We want to do big stuff. We want to draw cards. We're not even married to the commander. And I will say, if we're not married to the commander, the easiest way to solve the card draw problem is to go Simic. There are a million decks that are blue and green that are very good at draw many card, make many stuff, big. Yes. All right. Because Simic is going to give you access to a lot of card draw. It's going to give you access to even more creative ramp, but you can do it in mono green. Now, if we want to do it in mono green, what we want to leverage is our commander is cheap. So mana curve is a suggestion. This is interesting to me, and you did say you've played this a lot on Arena. I think this is also something that's poisoning your mind. Brawl and Commander are basically different games. Brawl very highly values being able to stick a meaningful threat early. This is an alien concept in Commander, below like bracket 4. Nobody fucking does it. Everybody just fucking dicks around and plays hacky sack for a couple turns. Um, Having removal or being able to protect yourself from removal, utmost importance in Brawl. In bracket 2, nearly an alien concept. In bracket 3, becomes important again. Bracket 4, very important. But the types of removal, what people are removing, are very, very, very different. And so I think it would help you the most to have no mental overlap between what you're doing in your Brawl deck and what you're doing in your Commander deck. Like the play patterns are just wildly, wildly, wildly different. So we've hit upon a few of the good green card draw strategies. There are definitely more. Fuck me. So we have a little bit of protection. Cut this card. I'm greedy. So what confuses me, right? This is crazy, dog. We have some landfall. We have worldly tutor. Oh no, this is not necessarily what confuses me. This is just generic counter, 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 counter stuff. Okay. It's land dot dot dot. Perfect. Yeah, beautiful. Don't worry about it. Mana curve is a suggestion. All right, yeah, this is what I think has you fucked up for Commander. Because for Brawl, yeah, you need ramp. You need a lot of mana. You got to play big cards that do big things. In Commander, and when your Commander is a landfall creature, and we care about doing a bunch of triggers based on lands, your ramp should all be lands, dog. Should fucking all be lands. I don't know what the fuck we're doing playing a Birth of Paradise. Uh, you could probably cut like a million of these things, right? We could cut birds, we could cut Delighted Halfling, we could cut Llanowar Elves. I would keep Kodama because it gets lands into play. We could cut Elysian Caryatid. We could keep Ordeal of Nylea. We could keep Tireless Provisioner. We could kill Utopia Sprawl. I don't think I would want to play like Rampant Growth though. I think if I'm casting a spell to get lands into play, I want it to get more than one land into play because the land loop that you are most commonly going to get into for mono green, if you want to do landfall, is you're going to have Crucible of Worlds, and you are going to have something like Evolving Wilds, and you are going to have Crucible of Worlds, a land you can sacrifice, and then as many ways to play additional lands on one turn as possible. And you're going to go like, I'm going to play 4 lands this turn. Fucking dope. And so to set that loop up, we need a critical mass of things that are going to let us play lands from our graveyard. So you said you'd been digging in Scryfall a lot. I question if you have been digging with O-tags. These are God's gift to the new player. Crucible of Worlds just is its own tag. So if we go to Commander Green, you could play all of these. I don't think you need to, but I think you would be happy to. Right? Play lands from graveyard, play lands from graveyard, play lands from graveyard. We mill ourselves. We have a landfall trigger. Like you're trying to crush the table mentally under the weight of all the shit you have to keep track of. This also doubles landfall triggers. Hey, great. So we have 7 cards already picked. And then we want the other Azusas of the world. Who are the other things that let me play additional lands? So we have Case of the Locked Hothouse. This also lets us play stuff from the top of our deck. We have Exploration. We have Exploration Broodship. We have Explore, which is not permanent base. We have Ice Till Explorer. We have Loot, who is a fun way to dig through our deck as well, because we can use 6 mana to just get creatures out of the top 6 cards of our library. And so this is also how green does card draw. They don't actually pick up the cards. They check the top whatever, and then they just cheat a thing into play. How many of these could we do? You could fucking do this too. Like there's a million. There's a million options. Wayward Swordtooth. Now the thing I would caution you against, right, is it's very easy to, if you go land crazy. I would also go up to 42 lands if you're gonna do landfall. If we go land crazy, if we don't set up that fetch land in the graveyard, we can just like vomit all the lands in our hand, run out of lands to play, they shoot our commander, we're fucked. So there does have to be a delicate balance of like, I have to make sure that I am milling a sack land into my graveyard. I have to make sure that I am getting a permanent that can bring back my lands onto the field so that I can keep doing this loop. So you do want to have all of those crucible effects. You want to have other recursion. Fuck me running. Okay. So 6, one of the best recursive pieces Green has ever seen. This dude is a stone cold motherfucker. Reanimate non-land. Yeah, reanimate non-land. Sure. Sure, why not? Not gonna have a ton of these, but might have just enough to build a functional deck. 2! Oh my god! Okay, I'm gonna change this O tag to recursion. O tag recursion, this will be a lot better. Okay, so then we get, hey, a creature that will bring something back to our hand. Hey, a sorcery that will bring something back to our hand. Hey, an instant that will bring something to the top of our deck to draw during our next turn. Brings all our lands back, sure. Oh, hey, a thing we can put counters on with our commander to get stuff back. Oh, hey, a really evil motherfucker. You probably have the mana to cast. That's so weird. I don't know why I even opened that guy. Oh, hey, another thing we can play to get stuff back. Oh, hey, a big guy who cares about how many lands we haven't played. Isn't that neat? That's so fucking neat. Oh my god, another thing that brings a card back. Um, so I think up the beanstalk is probably a mistake with the direction we're currently going. If you want to landfall max, there is another thing to understand because you're new to Magic. Even though green is the color of more all the time, building a deck that is all about I want to make as much and use as much mana as possible is actually a different deck than I want to drop as many lands as possible and have a bunch of good things happen to me because of those lands. Like for instance, a great example. Stonecoil Serpent cares about you making a billion mana. You get the biggest snake you've ever seen in your life. He kills everybody. Amazing. Or actually, even better than that, Hydras. Hydras are the any snakes. Hydras are the mono green. I have $1,000,000, and I have given that $1,000,000 to a big tube, and you are going inside the tube now. I'm sorry. Versus, there are some Hydras, and there's a lot of other stuff that cares about, hey, if a land comes in, make cool thing happen. And so if you want to be on Bristly Bill, it sounds like you want to be on, hey, if a land comes in, make cool thing happen. So we want to do landfall, Commander Green. You had Scute Swarm already, but the point is you have to commit to one of these things. It is not as easy as you think to do both of these. You can still do a little bit of the other thing on the side, but a lot of the biggest mistake deck builders make early on is when they have two game plans that overlap a little bit, they convince themselves they can 50-50 it, and then they make their decks not work because of it. You can pull off a 90-10, you can pull off an 80-20, you can sometimes pull off a 75-25, but trying to 50-50 these game plans is where your deck gets lost in the sauce and doesn't really do anything. So if you want to do the two game plans, I would, based on what you've described to me, I would have it be 80% landfall, and then I would have a couple things that utilize a shitload of mana to do very funny over the top stuff. So there's stuff like Tifa. Oh my god, if I play like 5 lands in one turn as Tifa, oh, I kill somebody. Scythe Cat, tons of counters. I Earthbend for 1,000,000. I make 1,000,000 birds, and then like these are the triggers that uh make people scoop. I will say in bracket 3, it's probably not going to happen. You're going to have to get right with Jesus and whatever doctor prescribes your ADHD medication. People are going to make you track all of these, and you are going to have to get there honestly. Like people scooping because you have so many triggers, that is the arena special. That is something that you are currently privileged to experience because you are on the internet, and on the internet, nobody knows you are just a sentient cactus. When you get out into the real world, people will like groan, they might rib you, they might make fun of you a little bit. But they're probably just gonna board wipe you. They're probably not gonna go like, "Oh my god, you definitely got it, bro. Good game." They're gonna be like, "No, I'm gonna win on my turn." Cool counters, cool counters, Cycrift. Versus Arena, like in the 1v1 format, if you just don't have it, you walk away. So with that in mind, what things can we definitely cut? Fuck this guy. Fuck her. Sure. Fuck this guy. Sure. You can probably get rid of him. Uh, you can keep it proliferate. Sure. Fuck it. Nope. Nope. You probably have better things to do than this. Sure. 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 But you should have the other better Hydra. Definitely yes. Fuck this guy. Sure, sure. Sure. You can do better. You can do better. Sure. Sure. Uh, put in every version of thing that lets you sacrifice a land to go get another land. Be a tag for this as well. That tag will be fetch land. Don't do off color fetches. People will freak the fuck out. People will freak the fuck out. But all the on color fetches that are not slow. So anything you can play untapped, sack it, get a land, bing bang boom. Um fuck this guy, fuck this guy. You can do better. Fuck this guy. Great. Fuck this guy, fuck this guy. You can do better. The fun bullshit. Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, they were down here. Okay. Yeah, so the fun bullshit is all fine, and I think you can even grow the fun bullshit with the stuff you're currently cutting, and you can have the fun bullshit, and then you have the other things I talked about that help you establish that loop of I have a graveyard I can play lands from, and I'm going to have enough fetch lands and enough recursion that I'm confident I can build an engine of I'm going to play 5 lands in a turn, and I'm going to have something on the field that cares about lands entering, and then you're all going to fucking explode. If you want more doubling investment, there is Doubling Season, which is a bad win more card, but if you want to go to bracket 2, it's fine. There is Roaming Throne, which is unfortunately a very good card, and I hate it very much. There is Traveling Chocobo, who, if a land or bird entering the battlefield, doubles triggered ability. And that is how we get to the double it and give it to the next person and their heads explode. But as it stands, we are just suffering from brawl syndrome. We have a deck that is warped by what would be good and useful in 1v1 that stops being good and useful in 4v4. Um, and after you figure out the core of get land in grave, play lands from graveyard, play 5 lands in one turn, then you can bring in more things that protect a creature. O-tag, X creature, Commander Green. You have an endless number of options. I would value things that are permanent based over things that are non-permanent based, but you are going to have, ooh, look, sacrifice a land. My creature's unfucking targetable. Eat shit. I'm replaying them all from my graveyard the very next turn. I give him a big hammer, he's indestructible. I give him a big suit, he's indestructible. He's a bear now, he's semi-indestructible. Like, he'll never run out. This is a big tree and makes him hexproof. Amaze, amaze, amaze. Um, you can dig in that butt as much as you want once you get the core of the deck going, but that is how you get the core of the deck. So I hope this helps, and very best of luck.